Welcome to This is Fitness, the podcast for the bodybuilding and all things fitness, bringing you real life version of the fitness industry from people who've lived and breathed it. We explore new trends and serious topics while dispelling myths and calling out stupidity within the fitness industry. Jimmy and Chris offer their unique insight, delivered with healthy sarcasm. Let's crush those fitness goals together. This is Fitness. And now your hosts, Jimmy Sadek and Chris Thomas.
Welcome to episode 2. This is series 3. Season 3. Series 3, Jimmy. Starting with an F. Yeah, exactly. This is Fitness. And with my boy Jimmy. How are you, Jimmy? Jimmy's always good.
Yeah, well, I'm all right. There's always someone worse off than me. There's always someone worse off than everybody. So you're always good.
Yeah. Well, we missed a week. We were both busy last week and that. So what's been happening?
What has been happening? I think what events have nothing really. Well, it's pretty much a Groundhog Day at the minute, which is actually not the worst thing in the world. But it's literally, I don't do much in the afternoons except for hang out with the polo. And then I'm trying to get to sleep as early as possible. So I'm trying to get to bed before 9. Doesn't always happen, but I'm just making sure my wake up time now is the same time every morning. It's between 12 and 12:30. So, and that's by choice to get recovery done. I'm leaning into recovery. Now I've got the recovery center. I want to utilize what we have. So, and some of it's quite time consuming. So to do it on a regular basis, and so it's effective, I just do it in the morning, man, for every motherfucker week. So,
Yeah.
I don't get pulled in left, right, whatever direction. No one's up on the phone, whatever. So, I have a good routine. I'm enjoying the routine, and I like getting up early. I get up an extra probably 45 minutes earlier than I really need to, but that's so I don't have to rush.
Yeah.
And it's good. It's fun. It's I feel really good from it. Like, even though I'm always a little bit tired, but from doing the regular red light therapy, the PEMF mat, which is like the grounding mat, regular cold plunge, and getting a couple saunas in a week, I feel really good.
That's good.
Yeah. How are you?
Good. What do I know? I had a good friend's wedding. Not this weekend, gone the weekend before. Someone I've known for a really long time. It was lovely, man. I was down at Currumbin, in Currumbin Valley. There was this beautiful estate thing. It was actually just amazing. That was good. It was kind of like a bit of a reunion, man, because it was actually quite funny. Like I stayed at the airport at Coolangatta because there was a shuttle service that went from Currumbin Estate right out to the.
That's nuts.
You're already laughing. I know, it's funny. So I'm getting the shuttle bus from the airport out there, and then I don't know, 11 o'clock at night, just absolutely hammered, just getting a shuttle home it just stayed like the ridges there. They're always at the airport.
Yes.
Yeah, so it was like a bit of a reunion because a lot of these people I haven't seen in like 15 years, 20 years. It was really cool. So that funny thing where some people just look exactly the same, but they just look a little bit older. Their hair's grey or whatever. They're exactly the same, right? So they're unmistakable. But then you got those ones that just have aged and you can't even tell who they are anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Right. I had a couple of those, like conversations with them, and I went, you know what? I'm actually just going to be honest, right? Because when you get to that point, you go, I should know this person. So I went, you know what? I'm just not going to lie to you. Tell me your name because I can't fucking place you. So that happened a couple of times, and it was cool. It turned into a bit of a joke, so it was good.
You would have changed a lot too.
Yeah, it was actually quite funny because this when I got there, I went to I got early, and the check-in was at 3:00 at the hotel, right? And the wedding was like 1:30. So I got there and I thought, I'll just go to reception and just say, listen, can I just pay? And can I just leave my stuff here and I'll come and check in like, midnight tonight sort of thing. And they go, no, your room's ready. And so you can go up now. I said, oh, cool. That's good. And there's a girl at the counter there. And I'm just looking at her and I recognize her. I'm just like, hello. And she's like, hi. And I'm just like, oh my God. So you don't recognize me. And she's just staring at me. Right.
Yeah.
And then, that moment where it dawns on them, they work out who you are.
Uh-huh.
The look on her face. So that's how the day started. Next year we're on a shuttle bus going across to the wedding, and it was just cool. It was really good. So I drank too much there, Jimmy. So that I had to.
So how long since you had seen the majority of these people?
Well, the groom I see all the time, but the rest of them, a lot of it wasn't my direct crowd, obviously, but the ones that were, there were probably probably 10, maybe to a dozen. They were all younger than me, probably maybe 10 years younger, but we all used to hang back in the day and, go out in the valley and all that sort of shit, 15 years ago. I'm going to say for the majority of them, probably minimum 15 years.
So you've changed a fuck ton.
Yeah. Yeah. Back then I was just
Soccer player.
Back then I was the guy that trained. I was big-ish, but I hadn't.
Were you still playing soccer 15 years ago?
I hadn't started. I had done my first 2 shows in 06 and 08, and that was that period, where I got pissed off with coming third in the national, so I just didn't compete for 5 years. And then by the time I came back in 13 and I started winning shows and sort of was half decent, by that stage they'd all dissipated. So that would have been probably would have seen the last of them maybe around 09, 10, something like that. So they knew me as a bigger guy, but not not as competitive as what I sort of got to. So, yeah.
And tattoos.
Yeah. So
Tattoos would have been different too.
Say it again. Oh, yeah. That was the other thing. Oh my God, you got so many tattoos. I'm just like, yeah, I know. It's like, once you start.
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking of which, that thing.
Yeah, I got a new tattoo too.
Yeah.
Already calls it my midlife crisis.
Oh, does she? Bless her.
Because it was kind of a spur of the moment, but not like.
Yeah.
I wanted something in my other hand for ages, but
Yeah.
I knew what I wanted. I just hadn't seen it. And then I saw 2 things, and I was like, I'll get a bit of a forearm thing going too. One of my clients owns a tattoo studio, so I said, "Oh, do you have someone that could do these pieces?" Thinking they'd find someone, take it out 2-3 months to book me in. I'm cool, go get it.
That was quick.
Go and get it in a few months. But they go like, all right, we'll book you in Tuesday. I'm like, the fuck? Okay.
Yeah.
In Tuesday, out Friday with 2 sessions under my belt with another one to go. But yeah, I'm happy with it. I'll be real happy with it when it's finished.
Well, as I said to you the other week, to get around that forearm completely like a sleeve, that's a full back piece on a girl. So in the end, by the time you're done, that's 21 hours.
Yeah.
Right.
He always didn't want to do it because he was quite worried about the vascularity, like the veins in my forearms and stuff like that. I'm like, dude, just fucking skin relax.
Come on, man, just get in there.
I know. So, but it was good. It was good. It didn't hurt that much. It hurt the last probably 2.5 hours each day.
So you break it up, like if you break it up into like quadrants, right? Like let's say 2 hours, 2 hours, 2 hours, or whatever, or an hour 45, whatever. The first one sort of glides through. You kind of having a bit of a chat. It was all fresh. Second one's like, you know what? It's not so bad. By the third one, it's wearing you down pretty quick. And then you get to the fourth one, and then you're just looking around going, oh, for fuck's sake, this is just.
I want to get the fuck out of there. Yeah.
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 But don't you still love the people that tell you they don't hurt?
Yeah, but it didn't. It was funny though, because it really didn't hurt until the last 3 hours, and then it was just like fuck you, cunt. Like it was like you said, because I broke it down every couple of 3 hours. I was like, man, I gotta get pissed. I want to eat some food. So I broke it up. Every time we came back, I was like, oh fuck, it hurts a little bit more. So the second, probably the middle third, I slept through the whole thing. So I only really felt it the first 2 hours and the last 2.5. So it's a pretty good day. But yeah, apart from that, that was last week. Didn't really go out for food this weekend. We had some home cooked stuff. So
we're still dining there, or what? What's happening?
Yeah. 3.5 weeks in. 3.5 weeks in, actually.
Mm.
So, and it's good. So I'm sitting about like 118 and a bit.
Mm.
Increased cardio a little bit this week. Oh, yes, today, actually. Today, the changes, we put the changes through. So I pretty much double cardio to 45 minutes.
Mm.
And just dropped a little bit of food, not much. But that little bit of food plus the extra cardio just get shit rolling.
Mm.
So
Mm.
it's that it's just I'll get that little bit of that empty feeling training still. You feel a bit too fat with no pump.
Mm.
That first 6 weeks or so where it's just like meh, you're just going through the until shit catches up to each other and you get tight and then you start getting more vascular and then it's kind of starts to look gnarly.
Mm. 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 That's good.
How you going? How you going, trainer?
Well, I kind of like, I've done a pause, but not in a bad way. I'm putting on weight at the moment, like quite easily.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm training really well and I'm actually getting stronger, like consistently week to week. So I'm kind of enjoying just being that little bit heavier. So I'm kind of thinking that I'm going to ride it out for a little bit longer and make the most of that. And then I'll do it. Cause I mean, honestly, Jim, the way I'm going, I'm going to be 100 kilos, probably in the next 3 or 4 weeks pretty easily.
Staying condition type of thing.
Yeah. And, you know, from that point there, it's going to be a pretty good position to come back from, you know. I think if I sort of dieted from 95 or something or other, I'd probably feel a bit shit. But then it's circumstantial. I just am training well, weight's going on nicely. I'm kind of just enjoying it. So that's what the plan is.
Yeah, I reckon I'm a week out of like being into the full. It takes me about 4 weeks to get into the groove of it all. Like I feel, I've got a little element of hunger all the time now, which I like. Like I said, training isn't like the most fun just because times aren't like they are when you're full blown and you can just eat whatever you want before or just add a little bit here and there. But like I'm getting stronger and I'm doing stuff I don't really want to do when I'm training, so which is always a good sign. But yeah, like I think I'm about a week away from being fully in the groove where you just don't miss shit. So you don't miss ups, you don't miss your shots, you don't miss your training sessions. You're like, I haven't missed training sessions, but like say like last week, I just couldn't train on Thursday. It got to like 7:30 and I'm like, man, I've got to go train, but I'm fucking tired. So usually Friday is my day off and we do a bit of a lower day on the days off. So I just went through my normal day's food on Thursday. Instead of training Thursday night, I just went to bed and then I woke up my normal time, which is like midnight. And instead of going to do recovery, I just went and trained. So it still gets it in. I still got it in, but it's just like it's still a little bit clunky. And that's just a timing thing on my part. But
All right then. So because of what you just said, right, and because of the parameters that you have and obstacles that you have, it'd be a good time to segue into a question for you, right?
Yeah.
So I commonly get with people saying to me stuff like, oh, you know, work's just too busy. You know, I'm committed to work. You know, it's hard for me to eat meals. Which I mean, for me, is just a load of rubbish. I mean, how is it hard for you to eat an essential item for you to be alive? But that's my thing. Anyhow, I'm just asking the question. So that's just rubbish. So my question to you is, with everything you've got going on, up at 12:30, all this stuff, right? How do you keep motivated?
my motivation's been the same from day dot. I want to look different to everyone else.
Right.
The motivation to do this isn't like I got bashed at high school or my fucking girlfriend left me, or whatever, right? Like it's just been I just wanted to look better than everyone else always. That was been my motivation from day dot. Now how does that go? Doesn't mean I'm always motivated. I tell my clients this all the time, like probably from when I was probably when I started doing PT, and my days would turn quite long. if I was to train, say 5 days a week, 3 of those days I didn't want to train, but I still went. So when motivation goes, you got to be disciplined, yeah.
Right.
And then more important than discipline, I think, is routine.
Right.
So I know if I break routine, if I'm not disciplined enough to keep my routine and my routine's out, everything else will go to shit or feel clunky. They're just more non-negotiable. So, but in saying that, before I started like dieting, right, for the last whatever, I would just make sure I'd hit everything once a week. I'd try getting a couple early sessions for the week. Then, because if shit got busy and I missed a couple of days, or whatever, I still trained everything for the week. But I'd not ever train less than 4 days. And then when I know my training was like a bit second, I'd make sure I was on point with my cardio and then 100 with my diet. You know what I mean? Whereas, so in saying that, it's like, okay, your original question was, how do you get the meals in? How do you get to the gym? Blah, blah, blah. It's all preparation and scheduling. Like, I don't get people that go, I can't fit my 5 or 6 meals in. I'm like, if you did 2 meals before you started, if you just, even okay, if you say you work a normal 9 to 5 job, okay, you start working at 9 o'clock. So you'd fit at least say a cardio and or weight training session in the morning, plus 2 meals, post-workout shake, breakfast, whatever. So a workout and 2 meals before you start work. You always get a lunch break. There's 3 meals.
Right.
You finish work at 5. There's your 4th meal, which could be one just going out the door at work. Get home, say 6:30. There's your 5th meal, something before bed 6. Like, that's an easy way to get 6 meals in. And the majority of people don't even have 6 meals. So I know you eat 4 times a day, yeah?
Well, that's the change that I made. I'm eating 5 now.
Yeah. So, but like for the long, when you're just maintaining your look, you're eating 4 times.
Correct.
Fuck, if you can't eat 4 times a day, it's not.
For the life of me, I don't understand it. Like, I mean, I get that excuse all the time. You know, it's like, oh, you know, just you know, with my current lifestyle, you know, like I just don't have time. Like, do you have time to breathe? Like, do you have time to drink water? Like, it's a essential thing. Like, and to be fair, average Gen Pop person, right? They're not eating a large meal, right? You know, I mean, I don't know. Everyone's different. I'm not going to generalize, but if they're eating, you know, 2,000, 2,500 calories, right? I mean, you're talking 400 or 500 calories a meal. I mean, it's not like you got to sit down for an hour to knock that meal over. I mean, you know, it's 10 minutes basically.
Also, you deal with the circumstances that you provide yourself.
Well,
so if you're going 4 meals, okay, cool. All right, we get it. You got breakfast, lunch, and dinner. That's 3. Then throw a shake in as well. There's no excuse then. And then, like, if you say you haven't got very long to eat or whatever, there's always options to make food taste better, get down easier. They might not be the most optimal, but they're going to be better than skipping meals. You can always add a little bit of sauce. Yeah. There's always something you can do to make things a lot easier. Like, if you struggle to drink water, add a little bit of no sugar cordial. Like, there's always something. It's more of they use the excuse of I can't or whatever because they're just too lazy.
Right.
Or you're just not motivated enough to get to where you say you want to be.
Do you know, with the water thing, right? Because, like, don't get me wrong, I do it. Okay. Yeah. And I do. But the thing is, you know this, I'm not a real water drinker. Like, I don't really I mean, it's not like I don't like it. It's not the right word. It's an essential thing, but it's something that doesn't come naturally to me. Like, I envy the people that just walk around with a container of water and just think that that's the greatest thing on the planet is water, right? Like, I mean that. I have never been that person. But for me, I wake up in the morning, I walk out in the kitchen. I haven't done anything. I just walk straight out in the kitchen and I drink, I swear to God, immediately upon rise, almost a liter of water. Between 750 mils to a liter, just straight, just in a row. Because number one, I'm thirsty first thing in the morning. And then I figure, well, if I start the day that way, right, I've got a liter in straight up. Okay. And then realistically, I've got to do another 2 liters thereabouts for the rest of the day, which to me becomes easy. It's just when you start slow. So there's just little things like that. But it's like, oh, I can't drink 2 liters. You know, I drink. So, you know, it's actually the most surprising thing is some people actually don't drink water at all. And in the end, when they try to work out, they go, I think I consume probably close to 1 liter while I train. I was like, wow, okay.
Yeah, I'm like I'm a massive water drinker.
No, you've always been though.
Yes, I'm drinking maybe, dude. I could go minimum 600 ml an hour every day.
Hmm.
But I'm the same. In the morning, I'll get up and drink a liter.
Yeah.
I'll do a liter, and then while I'm training, I'm doing at least a liter.
Yeah.
They're too easy. And then honestly, because I walk around with a bottle in my pocket, and I think it's because a lot of the time I have to talk, like whatever I've done in terms of for work, I've needed to have conversations throughout the day. So my mouth will be dry.
Yeah.
Right. Plus, I'm fucking always hungry.
Yeah.
So it's a good way to stem that hunger off as well. And it's just being force of habit. You'll very rarely see me without a bottle of water in my pocket.
No, I know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, so back to the cordial.
Yeah.
So people say, yeah, the cordial's fucked, blah, blah, blah. You're like, okay, it's not that fucked if it's getting you to get your 4 liters in. Really using a little bit for flavor. I'd prefer you to have the cordial and drink the water than not drink the water and don't have the cordial.
Well, I mean, it's interesting, isn't it? I mean, you got people who sit there and think that you can drink Pepsi Max or Coke Zero all day long and think that that's fine too. I mean, you know.
I'll give you my soft drink rule. I won't have soft drink before I train. That's just my rule.
Well, look, once again, you know, everyone's different with this scenario, and it's a, you know, it's one of those can of worms type of situations. You know, like I got into a debate on years ago with someone online, and it turned into some big shit fest because some dude from overseas who thought he knew he was talking about had a crack at me about, you know, artificial sweeteners, and he thought that they were fine and all this sort of stuff. And I'm just like, all right, I'm not going to argue with you. But I get a 1.25 liter with my pizzas on Friday night, and that's it. That's the only one I have all week. And it's not because I'm trying to restrict myself. I just don't think about it. Like I don't drink it, and I just have that one. I have that one a week every week, and that's good enough for me. You know,
I'll use it to, if I'm like, fuck, I feel like something like just flavor some. I'll use a diet soft drink, but that's why I set my rule not do it before I train, because that'll kill half the day. I can't have it for half the day, so I'm not thinking about it. Whatever. Dinner, I'll generally have one with dinner or in a late arvo when I'm driving home or whatever, and then that stops me thinking about other fucking food. They're all little tricks that you can use, and that's what I use them for, to offset me going, fuck, I'm going to get a burger, or fuck, I want something that tastes decent. And you read 10 articles in terms of the artificial sweetener thing. 5 will say, who gives a fuck? 5 will say it's going to kill you tomorrow. Right? We've all done way more shit that's way worse than drink a little bit of artificial sweetener. However, if you only drank artificial sweetener, there's your problem.
I think when you combine that with, you know, the other foods that these people are putting into their plans so that they fit their macros, then you start adding all these things up. You've definitely got an interruption of gut microbiome through these things going in. But it's like everything, man. It's like moderation, you know. But the problem is people don't know moderation because people don't know discipline either. And that's what we were talking about with the training. That's why I asked you that question. You know, as I said, people should be listening to this shit. Like I couldn't, dude, half the time you are getting up when I'm going to bed. You know, I'm I go to bed late, like, you know, and I'm going to bed at midnight. But that's, you know, everyone's got different systems and structures. But the thing is, I suppose the point why I'm asking you that is that you've got to set aside your training period, correct? Because that's obviously what you're doing. You're obviously booking out a period where you're going, right, I'm training here and that's it.
Yeah.
Or do you just fit it in where you can? Because that doesn't work for me personally doing that. I've got to book the thing out and go, right, this is where I train, and just I'm not moving it.
I do a combination. It's like my Saturday, Sundays are locked. Sunday, I train Sunday morning about 4:35.
Mm-hmm.
And Saturdays, I train at about 1:30. So after I get done with Apollo, he goes to bed, Verity just chills out, and I'll go train early Arvo after we've done whatever we need to do in the morning.
Mm.
Then I don't train Tuesday, Fridays. Purely my massage, my recovery days, and they're the days I try to load up with work.
Right.
And then Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, I'll book them in based on when I can around clients. But I'll plan that on the Friday, Saturday when I'm booking my week out.
Yeah.
So every week will be a little bit different here and there. I've kind of got my times that I like to train.
Mm.
But like up until like now, I'm trying to take training a little bit more serious now. So I'm pretty much locking my training in and then putting my clients around that. Where for the longest time, I just chuck all my clients in and then, okay, I've got a gap here, I'm going to train.
Yeah.
And then like worst case scenario, like this Thursday, I'm supposed to train tomorrow at 12. But a client had to move from today to tomorrow at 12. So he took that. And then I had to put a meeting in for the recovery center at 1. So I'm not going to train, but have the time to train tomorrow. So I'm aiming to go at night again. But again, if I'm too fucked, I'll just go to sleep. I'll train in the morning on Friday.
Yeah.
It'll still work. And that's the main reason why I'm just sticking to 5 days at the minute, because it works. I think as things ramp up, I'd like to go to 6. That way I get an individual arm day, individual shoulder day later on. But at the moment, I'm just trying to pull fat. It works.
Well, that's the final piece of the puzzle for me, because I've made myself train on Wednesdays. Like today is difficult for me because of just doing this and just fitting clients into stuff. The time frame that I have left is not really big all the time. So, but I started to prioritize it because, obviously, I'm going down the coast every Friday and working down there. So we've got a new office too as well. So I'll be in new office this week down there. And I haven't been training Saturdays because I've been doing shit around home. So it's because I'm missing the Friday, it's giving me 4 days, which is just one under, and it's bugging me because it's one under what I want to do. So I basically now just got to go, right, nail down the structure, and I've got to train Saturday morning and just get the 5 in that way, because it's the one piece that's just not, that just doesn't fit.
Yeah, that's what I've done on Wednesdays. So Wednesday, I've now moved my session to the morning.
Yeah.
So I was trying to do it after we do this or right before we do this. We do this about 2:30, 3 o'clock. But like afterwards, I just want to get the fuck home. Like,
yeah.
And then I get held up walking out of here. It just doesn't work. And then before it, it's like I kind of always feel like I'm rushed. So I'm just scheduling it in now, which means I've got to work an extra hour on Thursday, an extra hour on Saturday, which is fine. But I think like the takeaway from this is you've got to create a structure, and then you just got to prioritize and plan.
Yeah.
And don't make excuses. Like I can make an excuse to not train ever again.
Yeah.
Like ever again. Like, dude, like sleep was way more appealing, especially when it's fucking cold now.
Yeah, that's right.
You know what I mean? I'd much rather go back to sleep till 1:30, 2 in the morning before I go to work. Come down and work. Instead of doing cardio in the garage. Like it's, I don't know. You just don't. You just like, all right, that's just something that I've said I'm going to do. I tell you what I have done a little bit now the last couple of weeks is Max, who was on our podcast the other week.
Yeah.
I've been getting him to come and train with me like 1 or 2 days a week. So, because he's got that, like, that 24, 25-year-old training enthusiasm. Like, you just want to train all the time. So I'm kind of using him for that. Whereas I know no matter what, I'll get into the mood of training just because that mood that he has is infectious.
Of course it is.
So it's good. So I make sure I do 1 or 2 sessions at least a week with him just to steal that 25-year-old fire again.
Man, it's the same when you said about the excuses. Like on Saturday morning, here's one for you. Saturday morning, I slept in, And I went, you know what? Fuck this. I'm actually just not going to, because I set the alarm every day other than Sunday. Even if I've got to work or not, I just go, right, this is how long you're allowed to sleep in for. That's it, right? No matter what, you got to start your day. Otherwise, you'll end up spending the whole day feeling like you've lost half the day, right? Saturday, I didn't. I went, no, I just need to sleep. Wasn't feeling 100%. And I ended up sleeping until about almost 9 o'clock because it was rainy weather. It was dark outside. And you just didn't know. You just still thought it was early, right?
Yeah.
So I got up, made a smoothie, tucked my clothes on, and I went, right, I'm going to the gym. And normally on a Saturday when I train, I always like to go in Saturday morning, like about 8:30 or something like that, and train sort of, be done by 9:30. You know what I mean? And it's good. Then you got the whole day.
Mhm.
I was driving in there. It was like 10:30. I'm going, right, I'm 15 minutes from the gym, and I'm just driving along like this, and I'm going, do you really want to train on Saturday at 11 o'clock, or do you want to just go home and
Uh-huh.
do your washing and, you know, do all the shit that you actually need to do around the house? And I went, yeah, fuck that. Just U-turn straight back home, right? I went, don't worry about it. I'll do it tomorrow morning, Sunday morning, right? And then Sunday morning came and I went, you know what? I'm not doing that. So you can't, that's a classic example of making an excuse. And in the end, I didn't get it done either day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's why my internal battle every Sunday morning is like,
Yeah.
get up, do all my programming, do all my work on the
Mm.
computer until about 4:35, then go train. Then I'm home by 7. The day's free. I have to do nothing. Nothing I don't want to do. We can just hang out, I can do whatever, I can nap. But then if I go, oh, fuck, I'm tired, I'll just sleep in today.
Mm.
Get up at 7. Then no matter what I do in the morning, I'm still thinking about all the shit I've got to do later on in that day. So I lose half my Sunday anyway because I've got to do work. I've got to go train. And then the morning when I'm supposed to be enjoying myself, I'm thinking about all that fucking work I need to do. So I might as well just get the fuck up in the morning.
There you go. There's your answer right there. That's the point.
Huh?
Right. Exactly. I find that for me, there's like a sweet spot in the morning, right? Of how much work I do before I train, right? Because I don't want, if I train straight away, I don't feel like working straight away when I get home because I have a meal and you get a bit drowsy and shit and all that sort of thing. But I'm really productive and effective first thing in the morning, right? So I get up, have a coffee, do about an hour, hour and a half of work. Then I cook my breakfast. I do about another hour, hour and a half work again. And then I'm just like, all right, I'll start preparing for training.
Yeah.
Right? And it's perfect. And then I train, come home, eat. And then I've normally got about an hour, hour and a half after that to get myself back in the game again before I start taking my nighttime Zooms or consultations, face-to-faces, right? And it just works because like it's the same thing. If you get up on a Saturday, like what you said, this is why it sparked it. If I got up on a Sunday and I had to do that work, right, that you're doing, I would definitely do the work first. Personally, I'll do the work first every time. Otherwise, if I went to the gym, I'd just be thinking about the work I had to do. So that's what I would do. But by the time I finish that work, depending on how long you're taking to do that work, how long is it? How long does it take you?
1:30, I finish at 4:30-ish.
Yeah. For me, if I got up in the morning and I did sort of 3 hours of work on that, by the time I finish that, I would be a 50-50 of going to the gym after that.
Yeah, but see, I just make sure I do all my work. I have to finish it before I go train.
Yeah. Yeah, I get it.
And then so if I've like there's been some mornings I just won't go to the gym because I've got to be home by 7 because that's when Apollo wakes up. And that's my only morning I get to see, like, hang out with him when he wakes up or cuddle in bed or whatever. 7 o'clock, I've got to be back to bed. So if I leave it too late, I just fuck it, I'm not going. But then I'm kicking myself because I've got to go fucking train in the afternoon. In the summertime, it's the worst because if I have to, and this isn't even a motivation, discipline, routine thing. This is if it's like, oh fuck, I've got to train now, and it's like 11 a.m. or 1 p.m. or 2 p.m. and it's fuck off sunny outside, and I've got the day off. I'm going straight to the pool. I ain't going to go spend an hour and a half in the sweaty fucking hot gym where I can just tan by the pool. So it's even worse in summer. Like I've got to get all my shit done in the morning. I have to train in the morning. I've got to get the work done in the morning because otherwise it's just like. But you make it happen because you make it work.
Of course. Yeah.
You know, like where other people, the majority of people who like to make excuses or whatever will just deflect training, deflect their food, and then complain and make excuses about it later. Well, I can't make excuses. I just fucking feel like shit.
There's a reason why, okay, people are competitors and they're good competitors, right? And there's a reason why people aren't. And the answer is really quite simple, but no one wants to accept that, you know?
But like, even okay, not even talking about being competitive, right?
Well,
About just being fit and healthy, right? Just being in shape, not even like being
Paul,
shape, just like being an average in shape person, right?
Mhm.
If you're not, and then you're like, say you're overweight or you're obese, how fucking uncomfortable would that be?
I mean, you've got society telling people that it's okay to embrace their fatness and embrace.
You can think it's okay, but you fucking are not comfortable.
No.
There's no way you can be actually comfortable unless you're that far gone, you don't know anything else.
Mm.
And uncomfortable is actually normal, but that's still that normal must be fucking shit.
Yeah.
Because you can't, even you're 100, I'm 100 plus, all
Yeah.
right, not out of shape.
Yeah.
Being heavy still sucks dick sometimes.
Well, like, you know how I feel about this. We've discussed this all the time. Like, I'm reaching, like, don't get me wrong. Like, I mean, my time's been and gone for that sort of shit too. I mean, I still love training. I still love trying to improve, and it's never going to stop. Once I get over 100 Ks, it's just not real comfortable for me. I just don't really enjoy it that much. You know what I mean? So I'm kind of starting to get into that territory. I can feel it. You know what I mean? So, but
Just let it drag a little bit because it makes training a little bit more fun.
I enjoy being stronger, and I definitely am training better. In that, so that side of it's really cool.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I go when I said competitors before. Let's just call it true progression then. Like, in any sense, like, whether you're a Gen Pop or whatever it is, and you want true progression. To get true progression, you've just got to do something you haven't been doing before to ask your body to adapt to something new to actually improve. It's as simple as that. You can't just do the same fucking thing you're always doing because you're not going to improve.
You have to do something that's a little bit uncomfortable.
Right. And there you go. That's the thing. That's what people don't want to do. That's what people want excuses for,
But the rewards you get from doing something a little bit less comfortable is that you feel really good after you've completed that task.
Mm.
So, and I think this is where like slumps come from. When you don't get that like little bit of a fucking like boost after doing something hard, you just stay in that meh zone the whole time. And the meh zone is just like a slippery slope where you're not getting boosted up at all. Dragging feet, dragging ass.
Mm-hmm.
And then before you know it, it's just like, how the fuck do I get out of here?
See, exactly. We've all got different personality types, right? And different things that make each other click, right? Me and you're different in a sense of, like, for example, for me, I look at the training program, and what I get at the end of it when I nail it, it's like, yeah, I beat this thing. I got it. I finished this. I got it. You know what I mean? So it's a satisfaction with completion thing. And I kind of need that. And that's the thing. That's the satisfaction I'm getting at the moment, because I'm just nailing these fucking things down and walking out of there. The numbers are on the pages, and that's it. So that's my personality type. I need that sort of stuff. The other side of it too is I need numbers on there to remind me of what I did the week before or the week before. Wise, some weeks you're as weak as piss mentally, right? And you've got more reserve in there if you dig deep, but you don't dig deep because something hurts or something's tough. You just, you want to stop. But if you know there's a number on that page, you go, no, man, I did that last week. You can't do less than that. Like, what are you doing, right? You actually will attack it. And that's the way I work, But I mean, man, there's definitely, when you finish training, there's a satisfaction of getting it done, and knowing that you've beaten it. That's what it is. It's like a game.
Yeah. And that shit becomes addictive.
100%. Yeah.
That shit becomes addictive. Like, it's, I know a few people that train in the gym, that they run, right? I don't understand running. I don't think running's fun, nor does it look fun.
Mhm.
Nor to understand how it can be fun. But they kind of speak about running like in the same sense. Like they get a feeling from it that, like at the time, obviously it's hard, but and I think they call it runner's high or some shit like that. At the end of it, like they feel fucking amazing. You know, like so all purpose to all power to you. I think you just got to find that one thing that makes you click, and then just lean into it, man. Like just lean into it.
I look, I don't disagree. I'm sure that that's what happens. I just don't understand. And no, this has said no disrespect to people who do it. I just don't understand, all bar the weather, the people that are running it inside on a treadmill. If I was running, I would run outside. I mean, you know the difference between if you've got the ability to. I know everyone doesn't, and there's time restraints and whatever, you know. But if I have the choice of walking in the morning outside and then walking on the treadmill, the walk outside, with everything that's going on, all these things that you're seeing, smelling, hearing, you know, it seems like it takes half the amount of time to get the walk done versus when you're on the treadmill and you're just staring at this number ticking away, you know? So,
yeah. Look, I'm guilty of that. I'll do treadmill 90% of the time now. When I was younger and I didn't have to do cardio, like when I was teaching and I didn't have to do cardio at fucking like 12:30, do it at 6 a.m., 5:30 a.m. I was always doing it outside. I was outside every fucking morning doing cardio.
I mean, that's, you know, I mean, who wants to be out walking the street at fucking 1 a.m, man?
I like the treadmill now because I walk in a straight fucking line. I can play on my phone. Do you know what I actually did buy? I bought it today. I'll fucking show you.
What?
I bought this because cardio has been, I've upped cardio to 45 minutes, right? Which is not like that crazy, but it's still 45 minutes of just like, okay, you're just kind of like always pointless scrolling on your phone, yeah? Or watching a fucking dumb show or some YouTube bullshit. So what I bought today, I don't know if you can see it. Can you see that? It looks like a laptop. Basically what it is, it's a desk for my treadmill. It's like a meter wide desk. At the bottom of it, it's got straps. So you strap the desk onto the treadmill arms, and it's a flat. It's just like you're on a standing. It's like a standing desk, but it's attached to the treadmill arms. So you can put your laptop there, you can put your drink there, you can put your phone there, whatever, and you can do work. So I'm like, fuck it, I'm going to become productive while I do this cardio bullshit, and try and save some time. And I was like, look, fuck, even if I make a reel or I reply to my emails in the morning, or I do something, or I do say I could usually do like 3 or 4 check-ins in, say, 45 minutes. Even if I do 2, it's still 2 I don't have to do later.
Yeah.
You know, so like there's always little things you can do if you say, I don't have enough time to do this, I don't have enough time to do that. Like you can fucking join things together to make time.
Yeah.
It's quite tough for my purchase.
That's good.
Let's see if it works now.
Nah, we'll see. I'm sure you'll make it work.
I think it's a great idea. Like you can always do shit on your phone, emails and whatever. But I'm like, if I can do something that I just generally don't prioritize, even like there's things that I would like to do, but I just don't have time to do it on the computer. And I'm like, fuck it, I can just do stuff like that. So, yeah.
Tell you, funny story. I almost rang you actually about this. I was mucking around on the podcast program, right? And I uploaded some shit the day before, right? And then I went through and did like a bit of an edit and stuff and was just mucking around basically, right? And I accidentally clicked one tab. It was by accident and it actually had the watermark in it, right? And I didn't realize. So the next day when I was looking at them, I was like, it's got this watermark in there. I was like, I don't want your fucking watermark in there. I've paid you for it. Like, fuck off, right? So then I fixed it up and then I went, I'm going to try and just go straight from the program onto Instagram, right? Because you know, every time you shift a file somewhere, it loses some sort of fucking quality, right? So anyhow, I couldn't do it, right? I actually went on the phone to do it from the phone. I thought, right, I've got this same program on the phone. I'll go from the phone straight to the program, right? Anyhow, and I couldn't do it, right? It was probably just me, but I couldn't do it. And then there were a couple of half-edited files in there that were just like drafts and shit. So I went, I'll just get rid of these because they're just rubbish sitting there, right? So I swiped them, right? and I actually deleted the whole fucking suite, Jimmy. Yeah, no joke, right? So that was it. I just looked down and went, righto, well, lucky I've got all the originals. So the next day I got up on Sunday morning and started all over again. So that's one of those errors that you make once that you'll never do again.
Yes. That program's taken a little while longer than I would have liked to actually kind of understand it. I made a whole bunch of like clips over the weekend on it. I was fucking around. They can make it you seen the baby clips going around Instagram?
Yeah, I've seen all that. Yeah.
I made a couple of our clips, like a couple of my clips.
All yours today.
Like, this is actually fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
But yeah, like it's just new shit like that takes time. But like, to be fair, anything takes time. And if you want to refer that back to like training and dieting and cardio and all that stuff, it takes, if you're new to it, it takes time for that to not be clunky also.
Right. Everything, man, is just getting into a groove. That's what it is.
Yep.
Yeah.
Kind of brings us full circle to what we started talking about before, how like it takes 4 weeks to get into like a proper diet.
Well, it's funny that you mentioned that number, right? Because, I've always said that you probably heard me say this 100 times, so forgive me if that's the case, but I'm the same. Like if I start prepping, right? Like anyhow, this goes back to people cheating, right? People always go that the longer they're in prep, the more prone they are to cheating because they're craving shit. Whereas I'm completely the opposite way around, right? In that first 4-week period that you're talking about, while I'm getting into the absolute groove, I don't cheat anyway. But if I was going to, or if I was a chance of it, it'd be in that period. After that period, right, and I'm completely set, there's no way I'm fucking eating anything outside of what's on there. Like not even a chance, right? So it's interesting. But yeah, it's about 4 weeks. It's like 4 weeks after that, you're solidified, you got a routine. You've got 4 weeks of history behind you of no fuck ups. So it's like, do you want to put 5 weeks behind you, or do you want to just start over again right now at 4 weeks and just go, okay, well, this is day one again? And that's what drives me when it comes to that. That's why I don't do it.
What are some of the things you'd let slide in the first 4 weeks? In terms of like, okay, if in terms of following 100%, and then like just say even going over 10 grams in food, that's like take some percentage points away. Like outside of being 100%, what are things you let slide, or what things you actually do within that first 4 weeks to oppose the 4 weeks ongoing after the first 4 weeks? Like, I'll give you an example.
Yeah, I know what the question is. I'm trying to think. So, there you go. Give me the example. Yeah.
My one is, after the first 4 weeks, 192 grams, that's what's being weighed out. Whereas within the first 4 weeks, if I've got like 125 gram of berries and it goes to 135, I'm like, yeah, it's okay. I'll let that slide for the first 4 weeks. But as soon as that 4 week mark comes and I'm rolling, everything's to the fucking gram. Little even sups. If I I'm like, fuck, I forgot to take these sups in the morning and I'm in the car. Within the first 4 weeks, I'll just drive off. After the first 4 weeks, I fucking know. I'm going to get out of the car. I'm going to go take the supplements. Blah, blah. Even shots. Like, I'll be so regimented with the shots. Whereas trying to get into that routine, I'm like, oh, fuck, like, I'll miss a week's worth.
Yeah.
So that first 4 weeks, when you're fucking locked and loaded, like everything's at 100.
I guess for me, I'm pretty good straight away, right? But, and this is something I can actually, I know, right? This is no joke. I can put my hand in the bag of nuts and grab a handful, and I will get within 2 grams either side of the weight I'm trying to do. I'm actually willing to do it on camera, on here, not now, but I'm willing to do it to show, right? That's number one. But then I get to the point where I just don't do that anymore. I just measure it. The other thing is the banana and the avocado. I think probably the banana and the avocado. The banana, if it's got a weight on there, I'll just use a whole banana and go, that's close enough.
The fucking same.
Right. And then with the avocado, I'll just do half an avocado for that first 4 weeks.
So I just started weighing it today.
Yeah. that's probably it for me. Apart from that, the meat I weigh immaculately straight every time anyway. The rest of it, yeah. So I don't miss a meal. I don't cheat, but probably those couple of things are the things that I actually, in the first bit, because as I said, like it's a game for me. I always grab the hammer. I do it. Anyone around me just gets pissed off with me. I go, watch this, watch this, watch this. I go, crunk. I said, this will be 50 grams. It'll be like 48. And they're just like, how the fuck do you do that? I'm going, dude, I've done it for fucking 20 years. Like, as if I can't do it. You know?
Here we go.
But that's it. That's what I reckon. Those couple of things. And then the biggest thing for me is the mental aspect, as I said to you before. Like, once I get to that point there, it's like I know I'm not coming out of this groove now. The groove's deep. It's like I can't be derailed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. And then it just feeds on it. You get better at it, better at it, better at it, better at it.
And the other thing too is the reason why I enjoy prep, because I miss it, man. People sit there and go, what? I do. I miss the complete structure of it.
Yeah.
I did love show day. I loved all that sort of stuff. Hated the tan. Hated feeling like I had mud on me. It was just an awful feeling. You know, I don't know, man. People, it's just terrible. But I miss that structure. And the thing is, my work life actually thrives when I'm in prep, which is, I mean, there's to a certain point when you get to about 4 weeks out, then, you know, different story. But because everything's so regimented with training, cardio, everything else, your work is completely structured that fits inside of that. So everything thrives. It's like a little golden period, and then it just goes to the shit at the end when you're just too hungry and too tired and too cranky. And yeah, you've seen it.
We both have. All right, mate. On that note, I got 2 hours of staff training to start up.
Yeah, no worries.
You got some work to do. So
yeah, I have. I've got a little break now. I have a barbecue, and then I'll start my nighttime stuff.
All right. Until next week.
All right, my boy.
I'll see you later.
See you guys.
Bye-bye.
This has been This is Fitness. With over 60 combined years in the fitness world, Jimmy and Chris have walked the walk and are here to share what really works. Their passion is to explore new trends, dispel myths, and call out the stupidity within the industry. We hope you've enjoyed the show. If you did, make sure to like, rate, and review. And we'll be back soon. But in the meantime, find Chris on social media at Chris Thomas Alpha Ethos and his website at alpha-ethos.com. Find Jimmy on social media at jimmysadak.designercoaching and his website at www.jimmysadak.com. See you next time on This is Fitness.